All right, so now we are going to look at the same search, but done through different commands using awk. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to look for anything, any scores or grades in our file here that are below 0. So we're going to say grades.csv. So we want to find all of the values here that are below 60, okay? And you can see we only have one, so our search should only give us this row. All right. The first one that we're going to use is, let's go ahead and put our initial information. So we're going to use awk and a comma delimiter. Then we're going to say in our program, we want NR to be greater than 1. So we're looking for a score. We don't want to include our header in there. Okay, so we're going to say NR is greater than 1. We're going to say and, use the Boolean value and. We're going to check that column 3 is greater than 60. So we're using the greater than symbol, which means that we are actually looking at a numerical value. And that's probably why we're not wanting to include this line, right? So we're going to say anything that's greater than 60 in this column, okay? We want to then print the columns 1 and column 3. Let's close that off and then add our grades. And you can see that we did get the correct results there. All right, so that is one way to do it. Let's do it using substring now. We're going to do that same search. And so remember with substring, we have to get a little creative because we're using text and not numbers. So we want anything lower than 60, but in this case, we're only going to look for, the number 5, right? Because that is the only one that's lower, but you can look for all kinds of stuff. So let's say, we're going to say awk with our file delimiter, with our program, NR is greater than 1. So again, we're not going to include that in there. We're not going to include that value. And then we're going to have like this program within there here. We're going to say tens. So we're looking at this tens value, right? We want that value. And we're going to look for that using substring. So we're going to say substring. We're going to look at the column 3. And we're going to say, I want that first value in that column. This is our text, this is our start, and this is our length. So we only want length 1. Now that we have that, we're going to close it off and then close that statement. And we're going to do another statement. We're going to say if tens is equal to 5, then we want to print column 1 and column 3. Close it off. Pass in our file. There you go. So there you have it, 2 different ways of completing the same task, one using substring and one using some, greater than or less than type of work here. Also, this shows how to print individual columns rather than just the entire output.